if I have a struggle and a bad day, I know that if I put that on Facebook, I'm going to get 1,000 likes and people saying, oh my gosh, it's okay. You got this. Oh, you can get through this. And so it feeds my dopamine receptors. So then what I become conditioned, post about my struggle, post about my struggle. When you do that, it becomes self-sabotage, because now you almost feel like I have to struggle and I need to struggle. And so it's almost like you look for ways to struggle. If you go on social media and you post, I had a wonderful day, or 2020 has been a growth year for me. No one comments, no one likes it, because we've become so conditioned to talk about the things that will make people feel sorry for us.
Right.
And it's a form of self-sabotage, where then we create a life in which everyone has to feel sorry for us. And the first key is really conditioning yourself, reprogramming yourself to say, no, I don't have to go through that. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do what I'm told. I don't need to, this isn't the only way because I was told that way. And when you get in there, you get in that state of flow that I love to read various religious texts.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start broadening your mind and reading those texts, so I read the Tao Te Ching, I've read the Gita several times. I grew up, I'm Christian, but reading those texts gives me a different interpretation of the Bible. And you look for these common themes across all the texts, 2,500 years old or more, that it's not about the grind. And you realize that if you're one with nature and you flow like water, that's the best way to success. I don't need to self-sabotage. I don't need to completely kill myself day in and day out. And that you realize that the challenges people were having 2,500, 3,000 years ago are the same that we're having now. You find real wisdom in these texts. And I find, every single day I read it, and my daughter reads it, and she's read the Gita. It just helps from a perspective of, I'm not different from nature.
Yeah.
And it's hard to understand when you wake up with that notion, rather than trying to separate yourself from that and say, I'm a human, therefore I'm going to stop the flow of nature. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to completely create security and a bubble of safety. That's not how nature works. That's not how humans were meant to work. And you find yourself really swimming upstream every single day. And that's when you get the burnout, and that's when you get the anxiety, and that's when you get this sense of helplessness and hopelessness.
True. I agree. We are so much connected to technology these days. Like most of the people across the globe sleep with their mobiles next to their bed, and or maybe watching a Netflix movie or show, or having TVs in bedroom. Like time has changed so much in last 20 years. Our parents did not have so much TV and versus what we have and our generation has, and they are conditioning us more and more on a daily basis. You were talking about people who are posting on social media. There is also fake success stories on social media. That is also causing this kind of anxiety and depression in younger generation who wants to have instant gratification. Most of us know that it doesn't happen. Success doesn't happen overnight. People who have achieved success, either they had a brilliant idea, they found investors, or they had money to back their business. There are very few people who were lucky, who got successful, very easily. Most of us had our own journey. People who are successful right now had at least 10, 20, 15 years of experience on their plate with their own challenges. 15 years back, technology was not like today. It wasn't so easy to connect to people, right? Like we are connecting now over Zoom. I think in last 10 years, technology is evolving faster than it was. 2000 to 2010 was slow, and then 2010 to 2020 has been like rapid. Is a very understated word, I would say. 3x rapid growth in technology. So it's still conditioning our mind, and we are also, like you mentioned, we are forgetting that we come from nature and we belong to nature. That inner connection is missing because we are always living with gadgets and externally. Our mind, our eyes, and everything is gathering information from the outside world, that we are forgetting that we need to connect back to our roots and our basics, and listen to our intuition. Like I sometimes say, before Uncle Google was there, people always followed their intuition, their sixth sense. If they had to make a decision, they would listen to their inner voice. But these days, if you want to make a decision, you will go to Uncle Google. What should I do? Sometimes just, out of joke, if my daughter asks me something and I say I don't know, she will ask me, why, mom, why don't you know the answer for this? Then I'll tell her, because I'm not Google.
Right.
I don't need to know everything. And I'm okay to tell my kids that I don't know. But parents are under pressure. They want to search on Google to answer their colleagues, their kids, or whoever it is. You don't have to, and you don't have to be in the rat race. Honestly, people realize this very late in their life, and by then it's too late. So, Curt, we have almost, this much is the time we have today. What is one piece of advice you would give entrepreneurs to escape burnout?